This meeting come to order. Today is Tuesday, September 6, 2016. This is a special voting meeting of the Prescott City Council. Roll call, please.
Mayor Oberg.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lamerson.
Here.
Councilman Blair. Councilman Lozelle is absent. Councilwoman Orr.
Here.
Councilman Shiska.
Here.
Councilwoman Wilcox is absent. You do have a quorum.
First item.
Item 1A, adoption of resolution number 4352-1561, authorizing acceptance of $1,546,974 to fund up to 9 entry-level firefighter positions, meeting staffing for adequate fire and emergency response, SAFER grant program eligibility.
Good morning, Mayor, members of council. Hopefully this morning we're able to look favorably upon our grant acceptance. As you'll recall, back in the spring of 2016, we went out and sought your support in order for us to pursue the approval of a grant application. We were notified on August 12th that our quest was awarded in the amount of roughly about $1.5 million. The grant in itself will allow us the opportunity to return our staffing numbers to what we were on December 31st of 2015. As most of you are aware, we've been browning out or temporary closing fire stations. Specifically, early on we rotated those brownouts throughout the community. More recently, we went and decided on browning out Station 73, which is the airport station. It's very difficult to prove negative outcomes as a result of that brownout. However, some innuendo or anecdotal information does show it does have an effect on response times. We're hoping to restaff with 7 initially, up to 9 positions as a part of this grant. The 7 are currently 3 are grant funded, are identified as grant funded eligible. Those are the 3 positions that were frozen. We have 3 positions that will become available over the course between now and the beginning of the period of performance, which is in February of 2017. A couple things to mention and that are of concern. First off, as a fire chief, I think it's very challenging to become overly dependent on grants. However, this does kind of buy us some time in order to further look at some of our deployment strategies and what works and what doesn't work within the Prescott community. It also gets us back to a stable footing as we move forward with the compensation piece in order to perhaps fund that into the out years. Second is there's always a challenge with the upcoming pension reforms that are due to take effect in July of 2017. That holding off to that point is very difficult for us, in the sense that we would be down virtually 6 more positions by that time. So to table that and not hire folks really just doesn't make sense. And the other element on that is if we are to bring them on, even after July 1st of 2017, the likelihood is we could still be faced with bringing people that are already in a current pension system as laterals into our organization. So with that, I'd like to open the floor to any questions that you might have.
Questions, comments from the council?
Good.
Questions, comments from the public?
My name's Daniel Matson. I live on Merritt Street. I don't see any reason not to do this. What I'm concerned about is what's going to happen to insurance rates if we continue to run at such a low staffing level. So it's going to end up costing the city of Prescott, either the citizens or the city directly, quite a bit of money if we don't go ahead and receive this $1.5 million and let Dennis run a full load of staffing. So I highly recommend approval.
Question.
Go ahead.
So, Chief, let me see if I get this right. After this grant is possibly approved today, then we may be forced or have to look at in the future, unless something changes, in laying off people once this grant's over.
Right at the moment, what this does is our current staffing numbers that have been approved in the budgetary process if, for example, we run the 2-year period of the grant and there is not something done to further sustain our ability to pay down the unfunded liability, which is the kind of the elephant in the room all the time, then in fact we would be forced. But I think any future layoffs per se, if they were forthcoming, could be forecasted out that we wouldn't have to attach names to them. We could do those through attrition if that was the case, in fact the case 2 years down the road.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Any other public comment? Okay, do I have a motion?
Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 4352-1561.
Second.
You got a motion, second vote, please.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.